Tonight on Politics Tonight, we had the National Chairman of All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, Barrister Sylvester Ezeokenwa, on the program as he gave us an insight into all that has been happening within the party in the last 6 months. He also revealed that Chief Edozie Njoku, who has been in this leadership tussle for the past 5 years, is not a registered member of APGA. Tonight, we have Benedict Okoro, who is the National Administrative Secretary of APGA, for more insight into this matter. Thank you so much for joining us, Honorable.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
Right.
First of all,
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. First of all, let me address the issue which you mentioned, that someone said that Chief Edozie Njoku is not a member of All Progressives Grand Alliance. Let me quickly, just one sentence on that. The first, history is something that everyone, identifies with, because history most times speak about facts, and the facts is what every event of people who participated in certain certain events in the society. So there are always people who can say this happened and this didn't happen. Chief Edozie Njoku is the first national vice chairman Southeast of APGA, when the founding father and the first national chairman of APGA, Chief Chekwas Okoro, all of them were all together. This is fact. I am calling names of people who are living. And secondly, Chief Edozie Njoku ran for election in Anambra, representing, he was given the ticket to fly APGA ticket for Onitsha North and Onitsha South. These are facts. And thirdly, Chief Edozie Njoku was the secretary of the committee that screened Peter Obi as candidate of APGA in 2023 governorship election in Anambra. As at that time, the person who was saying that Chief Edozie Njoku is not a member of APGA was in secondary school. And secondly, Chief Victor Oye, who is being now, mentioned in this whole imbroglio, was just, without sounding immodest, was an auctioneer at St. Matthew's Catholic Church in Amobia. These are facts. I don't want to sound immodest or disrespectful, because I'm a proper Igbo man and a proper African. Now, that is taken. On the APGA issue, there is a desperate attempt to twist facts and make them look as though they are the truth. But after this program, we'll be able to put, facts and lies in the appropriate places. I will show you. This is a letter. This is a letter that was written to INEC. This letter is addressed to the chairman of INEC. I want you to see the volume. This is the volume. It was addressed to the chairman of INEC on September 8th, 2023. And the caption is simply, APGA Leadership Tussle, Chronicles of how the Supreme Court on March 24, 2023 came and arrived at the conclusion that Chief Edozie Njoku is the national chairman of APGA. And with me is an acknowledgement copy of this very letter from the office of the INEC chairman. And the letter is unambiguous. It simply tried to inform the chairman of INEC that there is an enforcement judgment of the Buhari High Court, the High Court, FCT High Court 40 Buhari, which clearly and unambiguously declared Edozie Njoku as the national chairman of APGA. This is a copy. And what we should be asking is, why is INEC not respecting, acknowledging, and abiding by this very judgment of Buhari High Court. Because the APGA tussle has taken some time and some years, there is a temptation of people to begin to twist facts. But the fact is that on March 24th, this is the Supreme Court judgment. March 24th, 2023, the Supreme Court. People cannot come before a live television being watched by the whole world and say, this is this, this is not that. Facts are stubborn. The Supreme Court is manned by people who have passed through trainings and have quite knowledgeable and quite renowned cognate experiences given their years of training. And this is a Supreme Court judgment of March 24th, 2023. And the judgment is very clear. And it declared Chief Ezeokenwa as the national chairman of APGA.
All right, Mr. Okoro. And last night on the program, the national chairman, Barrister Sylvester, quoted another judgment saying the status quo must be maintained before the national convention. Which one do we go with now?
We will go, that's why I said, we will go, any judgment, the court is like a laboratory. Law is science, and the court is like a lab. When you go to the laboratory, you mix this and that, and it gives you a result. The same result it gives you in Chicago is the same result it gives you in Newi or in Abuja. There is no mix-up. The fact is, what did the Supreme Court say? What did the Supreme Court say? And what the Supreme Court said has been cleverly reduced into what the enforcement judgment of the FCT High Court Buhari. And let me quickly take you around the enforcement judgment, because the Supreme Court does not embark on enforcement of its own judgment. By virtue of Section 287, subsection 1 of the Nigerian Constitution, it says that lower courts have the jurisdiction to enforce the decision of the Supreme Court. And this is what the judgment of the lower court said with regards to the judgment of the Supreme Court. So it is an enforcement. And let me quickly read that, please. I'll crave your indulgence. It says, the judgment order says, the acts of the respondents, that is, Victor Oye and INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood, refusing to obey and comply with the subsisting judgments of the Supreme Court made on 14th of October 2021 and corrected on March 24, 2023, and the duly served on them amounts to disobedience of the judgments and order of the Supreme Court. 2, the actions of the first respondent, that is Victor Oye, posing and parading himself, occupying party secretariat as the national chairman of APGA, contrary to the judgment and order of the Supreme Court made on the 14th of October 2021 and further corrected on 24th March 2023, is a disobedience and a clear violation of the judgments of the Supreme Court. 3rd, an order of injunction. The court now went on to give an order. It says, an order of injunction is hereby granted, restraining the second respondent, whether by its agents, private signs, authorized representatives, or whoever, described from accepting, recognizing, and dealing with the first respondent. That is, the court now told INEC specifically, do not deal with Oye. 4th, the respondents must comply with the decision of the Supreme Court made on 14th October 2021, as subsequently corrected on March 24, 2023, which was exhibited in Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2. This is a court judgment. And lastly, it says, it is hereby declared, that is a declaratory judgment. It is hereby declared that all the actions taken or to be taken by the first respondent, that is Oye, as APGA chairman, and the second respondent, that is Mahmood, as regards to Congress, conventions, primaries, meetings of any sort whatsoever, in disregard or disobedience to the judgment of the Supreme Court, amounts to null and void. That is
so,
the
Mr.
judgment that was given by the Buhari FCT High Court 40 Buhari. June
so
6th
my question is, Kindly hold on. My question is, which of these orders came first? This one you're quoting, or the one that says the party must maintain status quo before the National Convention? Which of these orders came first?
Perfect. There are two orders given by the Buhari FCT High Court to Buhari. Two orders. One was on May 10th. On May 10th, 2023. It clearly says, because some members of the NWC, led by Otumba Kamaru Latif Ogidan and Rabiu Mustafa, these are NWC members of the party. They went to court and said they cannot understand what's going on. The Supreme Court gives judgment, and some people are busy, boldly and brazenly disobeying Supreme Court judgment. And they went to the FCT High Court in Buhari and says, come on, there has to be an enforcement to this judgment. So on May 10th, they went by way of ex parte motion. And the court says in its wisdom, no. Let's not do it an ex parte. Call Oye. Let Oye come with his people, come with his lawyers. You come with your own lawyers so that we will resolve this. But in the interim, that's why it is an interim order. It says on May 10th, let everybody not do anything. Chief Njoko, do nothing. Don't parade yourself. Don't do anything. Oye, stay where you are. And INEC, do not recognize anyone. Don't go to, don't monitor any Congress. Don't do nothing. That was what the court said on May 10th. Unfortunately, after that order, everybody left the court. And it is interesting to know that the caliber of people representing Oye in the court, the likes of Onye Chipas was there. And the court said, don't do anything. But they went out of the court. The next 2 days, Oye was in Awka holding a NEC meeting in the name of APGA. Oye was in Awka holding congresses, holding primaries, and holding convention. And a certain Mr. Festus, I forgot, his name has eluded me now. Festus Okoye, please, a former national commissioner. He went to there and he was in the convention. And they now went and submitted a list, and INEC accepted it. That is a violation of the May 10th court order saying, do not do anything. Let status quo ante bellum be maintained. It proceeded there. Immediately that order, please a minute, immediately that order came. Oye and his colleagues rushed off while they were equally doing the convention and disobeying the court order. They equally rushed off to appeal court to go and appeal. And I will show you. This is the document. They went to appeal on June 8th. They went to appeal saying the order cannot hold. When they went to appeal, the appeal court in, let me read the suit number for you, CA ABJ CV 582 2023 this year, June 8th, the court struck off them, deleted it from the courses. The language was delete and remove from the appeal court Abuja division courses. That is, it should never be mentioned that such kind of matter came to this honorable court. And before then, June 6th, this happened on May 10th, they went and got that, they went to appeal court, it was struck off on June 8th. As at June 6th, there was already a judgment delivered, which court order I have read clearly and unambiguously. So that is it.
Mr. Okoro, well noted. But another very critical question is, why is the party still enmeshed in this leadership crisis? 6 months after Sylvester Ezeokenwa emerged as national chairman at the APGA convention.
Well, if you had listened through the course of my explanation, I have chosen my words carefully. I think so.
So before you answer that question, did you all agree to that national convention?
Which national convention are you talking about?
APGA National Convention.
I'm coming. Good. The National Convention in Awka was declared a null and void activity ab initio by the very court order that came out on May 10th. That convention was held, that illegal convention was held on May 31st, after the court has given its order. So it does not exist before the law. And that is why you see them jumping from one television to the other, trying to validate what cannot be invalidated. They are looking for validation. and they cannot come. You don't get validation on television. The validation we must seek in this Nigeria is the validation of the court. The court is what says this is this and this is not that. And that is the reason why, even after all this, the letter we wrote to INEC, we keep writing to INEC, like I showed you. And look at what the letter written by the same Festus Okoye wrote in his letter on the same May 10th. It reads the Commission's position on national leadership of APGA. After all he wrote, which is a total negation of what happened in Jigawa, where a clear judgment says Jude Okeke is the person who should take over as the acting national chairman of the party. From the Jigawa court, the judgment of Justice Musa Obale on June 30th, immediately, because Jude Okeke is of the Owerri Convention, immediately that judgment came out. INEC, in less than 24 hours, recognized Jude Okeke. And on July 16th, 2021, they asked him to bring the list of who should represent the party's candidate in Anambra election by November 2021. And he produced Chumu Moji. We should be asking INEC what every reasonable Nigerian, what every sensible Nigerian, what all those who love the law and should protect it should be asking INEC is, why are you not recognizing the judgment of the Supreme Court and further enforced by the FCT High Court Buhari? And to show you that there is a mindset. Madam, excuse please. Now look at what was written in the letter, public letter that was written by Festus Okoye. He says, the courts are not helpless. The courts are not helpless. When they make orders, deliver judgments, and make pronouncements, they also have the capacity to punish for disobedience of their orders and the judgments in committal proceedings. This is the process open to law-abiding citizens, groups, organizations, rather than resorting to self-help and cheap blackmail using amorphous groups to malign the commission. That's what Festus Okoye wrote on behalf of the commission in INEC's letterheaded paper on May 10th. And that is why the members of the NWC now went to Buhari, FCT High Court Buhari, and got this judgment. And after the judgment, we wrote to INEC, and INEC refused to obey again, and they went on committal charge. I want you to understand this matter. The committal charge is about people who boldly, brazenly, and proudly refuse to recognize a Supreme Court judgment, further enforced by the Buhari, the High Court, FCT High Court Buhari. And despite all that, they went on committal charge. And the court took 2 committal charges. Our lawyers filed 2 committal charges, which I want you to pay attention, please. 1, there is a committal charge on that May 10th interim order. There is a committal charge on May 10th, 2023 interim order. That one involves INEC chairman and Victor Ike Oye for disobeying the interim order of the court. That one is captured in the 10586. That is the motion number. Now, the another committal charge is for the refusal of INEC. That is the judgment, June 6th, 2023. INEC's refusal to recognize Chief Njoko as stated clearly and unambiguously on the very court order of the church, or court order of the court. And it says clearly that you must obey that court order. And the court, in its magnanimity, gave them clear, very clear, long rope, leniency, 14 good days, and says, INEC, recognize Chief Njoko.
We're gradually running out of time.
Thank
so
you.
let me quickly ask you this question. In the face of all these court cases, what efforts have been made to resolve this matter? This has been on for 5 years.
Okay. Chief Njoko and the NWC have been, Chief Edozie Njoko, the national chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, has extended hands, has explored all forms of friendship, all forms of peace, has explored all of them. He has called the governor, He has tried to make sure, even Chief Chekwas Okoro, all of them have come to the NWC, have always tried to make sure they've been saying, let there be peace. In fact, Chief Njoko surprised us. Before we even went to this matter went to Supreme Court, Njoko was on national television. And he said, let me, my humble self, Chief Njoko, step down, let Oye step down, let the party come together and discuss. But it didn't work. You know why? You know, when somebody is in possession of power, and he feels that can always get which he so much, whatever he wants, he can get it. But we have stick to the law. And the party is good. The party, all members of the party knows that the national chairman is Chief Njoko. And the party is moving on. The party is moving on. And what we are working on now is by the time we are done with the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, Chief Njoko and the NWC will unleash a very wonderful program that will dazzle other. In fact, other political parties, when they see the framework, they will be shocked. They will be amazed. It provides clear plan, a program of plan for all members of the party. Thank you.
Right, but as the administrative secretary of the party, who is running the party secretariat?
There are organograms, constitutional organograms. The party secretariat is definitely run by the national secretary of the party.
Between these two persons, Njoku or Sylvester Ezeokenwa faction, which of this faction is running the secretariat?
You see, when you keep talking about running, you see, the court, I will refer you again to the court order, which I stated here. The court says that the parties that Oye occupying the party secretariat as national chairman of APGA is contrary to the judgment and order of the Supreme Court. So, the hood does not make the monk. The hood does not make the monk. We all know that. He is in violation of a court order. What we should be saying is, why is the Inspector General of Police, why they have not gone there to throw them out? That's what we should be talking about. When you talk about the secretariat being managed, the secretariat being managed is an illegal affair being done by Oya and his group. They shouldn't be there.
Okoro,
the court order is clear
I asked that question.
Thank you.
Right, I asked that question because you're here today saying Edozie Njoku is the chairman. And Barrister Sylvester Ezeokenwa is also saying he's a national chairman. Do you have two secretariats?
Well, for now, what you have asked me clearly is a clear indication that you understand what I've said, that the Supreme Court judgment has said who and where the secretariat is. The secretariat is with Njoku. Thank you.
So my simple question is, who is running, what faction is running the secretariat? It's a simple question.
No, what you should be asking me is that who is illegally occupying the APGA secretariat? And that is Oye's group are illegally occupying the national secretariat of APGA. Thank you.
All right, I have my answers already. So what is the way forward so that peace can return to your party?
Oh, thank you. The way forward is that we as the National Working Committee of the party, we continue to follow the law to where it takes us. Already, like I did tell you, we will not do anything that is untoward, or nothing will ever push us to go and do anything that will maintain the image that we've been able to build under the leadership of Chief Edozie Njoku. The way forward is we will follow the law. That's the way forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I've been speaking with Benedict Okoro, who is the National Administrative Secretary of APGA. Thank you so much for joining us on Politics Tonight. Thank you.